Hi. We've had a great question this week submitted for our Q&A with a myofascial expert. Someone wants to know, I've been stuck in fight or flight for a long time. Can work with a myofascial release therapist help? The short answer is absolutely. As a therapist trained by John Barnes in the art of myofascial release, I know from my own personal experience and a lot of professional experience that working with a myofascial therapist can help get you out of fight or flight and help resolve whatever problems have set up in the body because of chronic long-term tension associated with being stuck in fight or flight. That's the short answer. I'm going to talk a bit more about how that happens. Stay with me if you want to sign off here. The short answer is yes, there's help. Now, in fight or flight, this is a natural, instinctive, protective mechanism of our body. It is meant for our survival. It's good. It's not meant to be turned off. It's just not meant to stay on high alert and active long term. When our body, when our brain, when our being senses there is danger, our central nervous system kicks into action and sends adrenaline rushing through our body. This gives our muscles the energy, the ability to either run from that danger or to fight. Again, this is a survival mechanism. It's essential that we have this in our body. When we run, when we fight, when we get away from whatever that danger is, that adrenaline's dispelled. That energy is dispelled and our body goes back to a more calm, resting state. That's a normal cycle. Danger, adrenaline, fight or flight response, run, get away, danger resolved, body returns to a nice resting state of tension. For whatever reason, when that doesn't happen, when that cycle doesn't complete, that adrenaline, that energy, that sense of danger kind of gets stuck in our body. It's like we have this record playing subconsciously over and over. There's a lion, run, or there's a lion, kill it. But we have no way to resolve or complete that cycle. When we get stuck in that cycle, our muscles stay tense, ready for action. Even if they're on a very subconscious level, our body has a sense of danger and it's tensed for response. Our myofascial system starts to adapt around that constant tension. We start to get myofascial restrictions. These can show up in terms of trigger points or adhesions or tension, tightness, a sense of I have something going on in my body that I just can't relax. For myself, I spent some time stuck in fight or flight, and I know when there's excess tension in my body because I startle easily. All my attention is directed to some perceived threat, so that when I get peripheral vision of something, I startle. My body is looking for that threat so I can resolve. My kids think it's hilarious. I don't think it's so funny because I know something's going on in my body that's causing excess strain, that's causing my central nervous system to be on high alert, so I get this fight or flight response. Now, as a therapist, I know how to help resolve that in my own body. Early on in my journey, I needed a lot of help. I'd been stuck in that fight or flight response because of ongoing tension, ongoing sense of danger for a long time. I needed some good help. Now, I talk about being a John Barnes trained myofascial therapist and that the work I do can help get you out of fight or flight and help resolve the problems that set up because of that situation in your body. The type of work you do with a myofascial therapist does matter. If you imagine a body that is on high alert, even if subconsciously, logically you know there's no danger here. You can check under the desk, there's no dragon, there's no monster in the closet. You can logically know nothing is here that's going to hurt you. But again, this is a stuck cycle in our central nervous system, in our deepest internal responses of some perceived threat, even if it was long ago in the past. When you get stuck there, imagine that someone comes along, well meaning, and tries to help relieve that tension and tightness in your body. Only they do that in a way that your body goes, whoa, more danger, and it tightens more. This is what happens with a lot of traditional therapies. And again, they're well meaning. When there's tension and tightness over a long period of time in the body, it starts to, again, create myofascial restrictions. That tightness, that tension, those adhesions, those trigger points, those myofascial restrictions start to pull your bones and your joints out of optimal alignment. That's where we start to get a lot of these chronic pain syndromes and chronic pain symptoms, because our body no longer has space to move. So you're already in this, danger sense inside. Someone else comes along and tries to forcefully break up or make those stuck spots move. Your brain, your deepest internal protective mechanisms are going to go, whoa, and tighten even more. Now, work with a John Barnes trained myofascial therapist will never push past those protective mechanisms. I'm trained to engage with your being, with myofascial restrictions in your body in a way that your brain and body can perceive, oh, this is okay. It takes time, it takes repetition, it takes very specific pressures into areas of myofascial restriction for the body and brain to go, oh, something's there and it's not a threat. And as your body starts to process that information in the here and now, a lot of tension naturally eases. And then I can start to work with the myofascial restrictions that have come into place because of that long-term tension. That's a nutshell of how I work here. That's a nutshell of how the good myofascial therapists that I know that have also trained with John Barnes will work. So again, short answer, stuck in fight or flight for a long time, can work with a myofascial therapist help? Absolutely. Someone who's trained in myofascial release will be able to engage with your body in a way that it no longer perceives threat in the here and now, and can start to unravel the restrictions that have set in place over whatever period of time that are now likely causing you trouble in your body. You'll feel better. Your body will thank you. Again, it's going to be a process. It takes some time. We've got to get you out of that fight or flight response so that then the structural myofascial release can become really effective. If you have questions, let us know. We'll see you next time for our Q&A with a myofascial expert.